Damodar Priya's face, my mental faculties immediately increase. Okay, we are live. Okay, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 54, if I'm not mistaken. 54, the marriage of Krishna and Rukmini, and the verses are 47 through 49. Let me move to verse 47. 47, there it is. Okay, 47. Janmadayastu dehasya vikriya natmana kvachit kalanamiva naivendor mritir yasya kuhuriva. Translation by Srila Prabhupada's disciples. Birth and other transformations are undergone by the body, but never by the self. Just as change occurs for the moon's phases, but never for the moon, though the new moon day may be called the moon's death. Or Lord Balaram here explains how the conditioned souls identify with the body and how this identification should be given up. Certainly, every ordinary person considers himself or herself young, middle-aged or old, healthy or sick. But such identification is an illusion, just as the waxing and waning of the moon is an illusion. When we identify ourselves with the material body, we lose our power to understand the soul. Next verse, 48. Translation. As a sleeping person perceives himself, the objects of sense enjoyment and the fruits of his acts within the illusion of a dream, so one who is unintelligent undergoes material existence. Report. As stated in Shruti, Ashango Hyam Purusha, the living being has no intimate connection with the material world. This point is explained in the present verse. A similar statement is found in the Srimad Bhagavatam 11:22-56. Arte hya vidyamanepi samshritirnar nivartate adhayato vishayansha swapne narhangamo yata. For one who is meditating on sense gratification, material life, although lacking factual existence, does not go away, just as the unpleasant experiences of a dream do not. 49, verse 49, translation. Therefore, this transcendental knowledge dispels the grief that is weakening and confounding your mind. Please resume your natural good, O princess of the pristine smile. That's Jamuna Jaya, the princess of the pristine smile. Report. Lord Balaram reminds Srimati Rukmini that she is the eternal goddess of fortune, performing pastimes with the Lord in this world, and should thus give up her so-called grief. Okay, Papi, you can invoke.
Omajnanaatimirandayasa janandana shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले Sabahim kada rupamayan dadati sabha padantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Srivata pada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sahajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tatpakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vanaswari Varsavanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Bancha Kalpatruveshta Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Patitanam Pavanavayu Vaishnaveyu Namaha Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurava Acharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschayata Dasatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Adaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Adaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Wow, Poppy, that was so beautiful. This is what a prayer sounds like in the spiritual world. So every time I'm looking for a parking space, I'm thinking, Krishna, please help me find the parking space. Please, Krishna, if you so desire. It's so bad that sometimes we reduce Krishna to a mere parking agent. But by the way, is that okay to pray for a parking space? And what's your take on this, dear devotees?
I think
Jeff
if you're
Rickler,
praying because you need a parking space so you could do devotional service, then yes, of course.
but that's so petty. That's so petty.
Harry
To ask
Baldwin.
Krishna who can give everything. Jeff Rickler, what's your road prayer?
It reminds me of the joke where the guy's looking for the parking space and one opens up and he says, "Oh, never mind, I found one."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, at least we're not that, you know.
And none to be Harry's looking for a parking space because he's late for dinner.
Yeah, I'm late for scones. Yeah, that's right. Okay, Damodar Priya, I think we're ready for Prabhupada.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tasmadaham vigata viklava isvarasya. सर्वात्मना महि गृह्णामि यथा मनीषम् नीचो जया गुणविसर्गमनुप्रविष्टा कुएतयेन हि पुमाननुवर्णितेन
Tasmat. Therefore, aham, I, vigata viklava, contemplation of being unfit. Thus I give up. Ishwarasya, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sarva Atmana, in full surrender dedicated to Him. Mahi, glories. Gurnami, I shall chant or describe. Yatha, as much as possible. Amanisham, according to my own intelligence. Manisham, according to my own intelligence. Nicha, although I am low-born, my father being a great demon, devoid of all good qualities. Ajaya, on account of ignorance and foolishness. Guna Visarga, the material world wherein the living entity takes birth, according to the contamination of the different modes of nature. Anupravishta, entering within this material world. Puyeta, becomes purified. Jena, by those devotional activities. He, indeed. Puman, a person. Anuvarnitena, simply by glorifying the Lord. Translation. Therefore, although I am born in a demonic family, even still, without any doubt, I may offer prayers to the Lord as far as possible by me. Any person who is engaged in offering prayer and hearing glories of the Lord becomes purified from the material condition of life.
Tasmadaham vigata viklava ishwarasya sarvatmanamahi dinami tathamanitam nichu jaya guna visarga anupravistya puyeta jena hi puman anuvarnidena. This verse is given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in another distinct form, Cheta Darpana Marjanam, Bhava Maham Davam Nidbhavanam. It doesn't matter where I am born. That is not important thing. Nicho. Even one is very low born. By freaks of nature, nobody can guarantee where he'll take his birth. Karmana daivanatreena. I will have to take my birth according to my fruitive activity, controlled by nature. Prakite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa. We are all completely under the control of the laws of nature. Guna visarga. According to the quality or modes of material nature we associate, we create another body. And many places this thing has been described in the Bhagavad Gita. Maya janta rudhani maya. Ishara sarvabhutanam riddhesya arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarvabhutani. Just like that Jamna Agarwal, that he is now in the police custody. Now he is crying, save me, save me, save me. But nature's law is very strict. Daividhyesha gunamayi mama maya duratraya. Once you committed mistake, immediately nature's law reacts, and it is very difficult to come out of it. Daividhyesha gunamayi mama maya duratraya. But there is only one way, that is anuvarnitena, repeatedly chanting Hare Krishna. Repeatedly. That is the only way. Hare Namaiva Kevala. That is recommended by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Paramvrade. This is simple. Kalijo, this is the only way. Kalo dosa nidhi rajan, he asti eko mahanagam. This is the greatest qualification of Kalijo. Great personalities, they very much eulogize Kalijo, that there is simple method and so sublime. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, one becomes completely purified. Bhuyeta jena hi pumana anuvarnita. Anu means repetition, and anu means following the footsteps of authority, spiritual master, anu. Our process is anu. We don't manufacture anything. We simply follow Mahajana Jena Gatasya Pantha. Mahajana, great personalities, great authorities, that is our process. Guru Mukha Padma Vakka Chittete Koriya Oikko Arna Koriya Mani Ar. This is the Guru Mukha Padma Vakka, whatever is coming out of the mouth of the spiritual master, because he will never speak nonsense. He will also speak the same thing which he has heard from his Guru. That is called anu. Anu, follow. So this is very easy. We don't manufacture things. What is the use of manufacturing things? We are imperfect. What we can manufacture? Whatever we shall manufacture, that is imperfect, because we are imperfect. The modern scientists, they are manufacturing some ideas. I manufacture and you manufacture some idea, you defeat me, I defeat you. Tattva pratishtya. In this way, I defeat you, you defeat me, that will not solve the problem. The problem will be solved when we follow the authority, anuvarnita. Then the problem will be. The Prahlad Maharaj is already purified. His head was touched by Nrsimhadev. He is completely purified. Therefore, although he was only child, 5 years old, he is speaking the gist conclusion of the Shastra, anuvarnita. He understood that I have not born in a Brahmin family, I am born niche, low-grade family, Asura family. My father was Asura, so I am born of him. So I have no prestigious position. Still, Krishna is satisfied simply by devotion and service. That has been already explained. So let me offer my prayer to the Lord sincerely. Jathavanisamam. As far as I have got my intelligence, I am not supposed to be very intelligent because I am low born. I am not born in a Brahmin family. Neither I am old enough, educated. Still, I have to offer my prayers. So let me try to offer my prayers by following the authorities, Anuvarniti, without any, what is called, doubt. Tasmad, aham vigata vikram. Without any doubt. Why? That is the perfect way. If we follow the previous acharya, then there is no question of lamentation. Anvarnitena, simply. This is very nice method. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy is that. Jare dakho tare kaho Krishna, you haven't got to manufacture for preaching. You haven't got. This is nonsense. You simply follow what Krishna has said. Jare dakho tare kaho Krishna upadesh. Then you become Guru. So Prahlad Maharaj became Guru. Out of the 12 Mahajans, he is one of them. Sambhu Narada Sambhu, Kapila Kumara Manu, Prahlada, Janaka Bhishma, they are Mahajans. So we have to follow Prahlad Maharaj. He is our Guru. Purva Acharya. Narada is Purva Acharya, he is disciple of Narada, therefore he is Acharya, and his disciplic succession. There are Sampradayas, Brahma Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya. Anyone who is bona fide Acharya, he can create his own disciplic succession, but one disciplic succession and the other disciple, they are not different, they are of the same conclusion. The Vaishnava Acharya, just like our Ramanucharya, Madhacharya, Nimbarka, Rudra Sampradaya, Vishnu Shani, they are all of the same. Aradha Bhagavan, Vajasutam, Krishnastu Bhagavan, that is their conclusion. There is no different conclusion. Although they have got varieties of method, Suddhadvaita, Dvaitadvaita, Visishtadvaita, like that. They present the same philosophy in clear way, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu presents the same philosophy, that Achinta Bhedave. That is Acharya. Acharya gives some way for simple understanding, the same conclusion. But according to the time, circumstances, they give a very easy method to understand. That is Acharya. Acharya is following strictly the previous Acharya, but according to the circumstances, he may make little changes. That change is not change from the original idea, no. So Prahlad Maharaj's conclusion is that I shall offer my prayers glorifying the Lord according to my capacity. Yatha manisha. Everyone is not of the same intellect. You may be more intelligent than me. Another may be more intelligent than you. But that varieties of intelligence does not mean missing the real point. The real point is the same. It's like Krishna has got so many queens, or in Vrindavan he was associated with so many gopi friends or cowherd boy friend. So everyone was Krishna's devotee, everyone loved Krishna. But there were varieties. Variety, Vaichitra, it's called Vaichitra. Krishna is not without variety. You see the flower, Krishna says, Purnagandha Prithibhyancha. The flavor is Krishna. We are studying in the morning. But there are still varieties of flavor. The rose flower has got a particular type of aroma, another flower aroma. So the Mayavadi philosopher, they cannot understand that the variety, Vaichitra, is creation of Krishna. Although they are one, the same Krishna, Purnagandha Prithibhyancha, but still there are varieties. Everywhere you will find varieties. Visheshata. And the Mayavadi philosopher need Vishesh. In common English it is said, variety is the mother of enjoyment. So Krishna wants this variety. So you are a devotee. The central point is to love Krishna and offer him service, but that service may be of variety. Variety. You cannot claim that because you are serving Krishna in a type, and therefore if somebody is serving in a different way, must be approved by the authorities, you cannot criticize him. Variety. Variety is the mother of enjoyment. The same vegetable, the same ghee, the same salt, same spices, but there are varieties of preparation. That is required. We Vaishnava, we want variety. Bahunmukhi seva. How the central point is how the Vrindavan, Krishna is the central point. The cowherd boys, they are satisfying Krishna by going in the forest, playing with him, mock fighting with him. That is also variety. When he comes home, Krishna is taken care by Mother Jasoda, different dress, different foodstuff, variety. Similarly, when in the company of the gopis, varieties. So variety is Mother. So it is not that I will have to do exactly like you. I will have to serve Krishna, but no mental concoction, following the footsteps. Anuvarnita, again, you can create variety, but it must not deviate from the original authority. That is what. So Prahlad Maharaj decided, Tasmadahang Bhagavata Viplava Ishwarasya Sarvat. Real thing is with heart and soul, everything. No reservation. Just like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he surrenders to Krishna. Everything, whatever he has got. He said, Manasa Deha Geha Jo Kichu More. Whatever I have got. No reservation.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Time to reflect, dear devotees. Thank you, Damodar Priya. Wonderful, wonderful class by Srila Prabhupada. All credit goes to Prabhupada. Whether we speak or Prabhupada speaks, all credit goes to him. Adipusha Prabhu, would you like to start the discussion?
Well, we can only repeat what Srila Prabhupada said so perfectly, that the qualification is that we we do our humble best to repeat what we've heard from our spiritual master. And that's perfect. And Prabhupada's consoling us that it's not a matter, Prahlad was not of a certain age, he didn't have a particular auspicious family background, he wasn't superlatively educated, but he did his best and Krishna was pleased. Our criteria is to see if Krishna is pleased, and Krishna will accept. But Prabhupada makes the point, we must not deviate. We must be presenting it the way it's been given to us without changing it. And then everyone can be included in expressing different ways. There may be variety. Prabhupada used the word variety about 10 times. There may be varieties of service. There may be varieties of vocabulary. But everyone can please Krishna. How wonderful is Krishna that he's including us all, right?
Thank you, Adipusha. Yes, everyone can be included. And if somebody falls off the wagon, they can be corrected. That's what the community is for. That's where senior devotees are for. That's what our God brothers and God sisters are for. It's a wonderful service when somebody offers a correction, and we should welcome corrections. Vaisheshika Prabhu has famously said, I live to be corrected. If Vaisheshika Prabhu says that, if that applies to him, he applies that to himself, then that applies to us. What to speak of us? We are open to corrections, we're eager to be corrected. And false ego shouldn't be standing in the way. That's not a license for all kinds of manipulations. You should stand up to that. But if it's a genuine correction, if the person has our best interest in their heart, if the person is qualified to correct, if he was asked to correct, then we should welcome that. Okay, if Chika Prabhu is being corrected, then I'm a walking mistake, Jeffrey Eckler says. You're a driving mistake, Jeffrey Eckler. It's a joke. It's a joke, Jeffrey Eckler Prabhu. We love you. Okay, questions, comments?
If you give a foolish person good instruction, he'll simply become angry. So you're a very important point you made about how being for us to be open to understand what we may not see. And I notice when some people give class and you make a comment, they say, thank you very much for that point, Even though they've given a person a very good class, they're not offended that if someone is offering something additional. And other people, they become uncomfortable just to hear someone trying to assist with the presentation.
Yeah. When I was 20, I knew everything. I didn't need any corrections or suggestions. I knew everything. But I'm approaching my 40s, and the more I live, the longer I live, the more I see that I'm basically blind. I have this tunnel vision, and it's really helpful when you put your false ego aside, and then devotees, they are well wishers usually, normally. They're wishing you well. Jeffrey Eckler Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for joking with me, and thank you for this morning. I was thinking yesterday, and Damodar Priya, you may appreciate this analogy, but and it came out again today in Srila Prabhupada's discussion of variety. I was thinking about how our spiritual life is kind of like when you walk into class in school days and they assign you your seat. And so everybody gets put in their little seat, and the teacher starts teaching, and everybody has a different perspective. My last name starts with A, so I was always sitting in the front left of the class or front right of the class, depending on how the alphabeticals went. And but there would be kids in the back of the class by designation of their own, and sometimes there'd be like something in the way. And so like I couldn't see the answer from my perspective, but the kid 2 desks over can see the answer from his perspective. And that variety of perspective enables us, as long as we communicate and coordinate, to see the full picture. And so I love the idea of these rasas and this expression of love for God in various capacities from various perspectives, because ultimately none of them are right in absolute terms. But then at the same time, all of them are 100% right. And so if we share them and we gather in sadhu sangha, then we can all progress exponentially faster towards what our shared goal is. And back to Prabhupada, it's all the same conclusion. So our shared goal is love of God. And regardless of how we perceive it, how we get there, as long as our pure desire is love of God, then our shared experience of the variety of flavors will enable us to see God more closely, more clearly. And maybe that coordination and that collaboration between the people who are seeking God will enable the person on the left to see the answer that the person on the right can see, and vice versa. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Jeffrey Eckler Prabhu. Yeah, if you see a devotee who is glorifying other devotees, then you can tell he is the real deal. That's how you can tell a devotee. He's glorifying others, always putting others in front of themselves. That's a characteristic of a mature bhakta who is not discouraged by flaws in others, always glorifying others. Damodar Priya says, collaborate with each other to love Krishna and offer him service. Great. It's a Vedanta Sutra from Damodar Priya, very concise. Vanisha has her hand up.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, I was just wondering if anybody knew in Prabhupada's talk, when he was talking about the different sampradayas, there was something Advaita, something Advaita, something Advaita. Does anyone know what those are? A little bit, maybe a little esoteric, but I was curious. It went by very quickly and I had no idea.
Thank you, Vanisha. 2 days from now, Giri Govardhan Prabhu will be giving class. Can you wait 2 days with that question? Yes.
I can't wait, but yes, I'll wait.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
And same goes for Kishore Goda's question about tattva. What's tattva? 24 characteristics of tattva. We're going to leave that to Govardhan Prabhu, Giri Govardhan Prabhu, 2 days from now. He's qualified to answer that. Right. It's 8 o'clock, darshan time. It's very nice spending the time with you, serving my time in the material world with you as my roommates, my Zoom roommates. That's my biggest asset. Jamuna Jaya's smile, Bhima Prabhu's beard, Jeffrey Eckler Prabhu's glasses. These are my assets. Devotional Sangha Ki Jai. We are in this together. That's Bhima Prabhu's one-liner. We are in this together.
Is Adipurusha Prabhu's unmuted?
Oh, let me see. Adipurusha Prabhu, Hare Krishna, unmute yourself. Somebody in the temple room, please unmute Adi's phone. There. Thank you, Domi. Jai. Shri Shri Radhamudadar ki jai. Shri Guru Chandra ki jai. Okay. See this t-shirt? That's Prabhupada. See this bump here? This little bump? That's Jeffrey Eckler Prabhu's head. All right. Yes, he's surrendering. Okay, Hare Krishna. Have a wonderful day, everybody. We love you. See you tomorrow and after tomorrow and for the rest of time. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Nice seeing you.